July 10, 2025. Daily Bread. Passage: Genesis chapter 39 verse 13 to 23. Key verse. Verse 23. Title: Joseph is put in prison. And as soon as she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and had fled out of the house, she called to the men of her household and said to them, "See, he has brought among us a Hebrew to laugh at us. He came in to me to lie with me, and I cried out with a loud voice. And as soon as he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried out, he left his garment beside me and fled and got out of the house." Then she laid up his garment by her until his master came home. And she told him the same story, saying, "The Hebrew servant, whom you have brought among us, came in to me to laugh at me. But as soon as I lifted up my voice and cried, he left his garment beside me and fled out of the house." As soon as his master heard the words that his wife spoke to him, "This is the way your servant treated me," his anger was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were confined, and he was there in prison. But the Lord was with Joseph, and showed him steadfast love and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison put Joseph in charge of all the prisoners who were in the prison. Whatever was done there, he was the one who did it. The keeper of the prison paid no attention to anything that was in Joseph's charge, because the Lord was with him. And whatever he did, the Lord made it succeed. Daily Bread Message. When Potiphar's wife saw how Joseph rejected her advances, she called the other servants. She showed them the cloak that Joseph had left behind in his haste to flee. She accused him of trying to sleep with her. She repeated this same story to her husband. As a result, Potiphar was enraged, and had Joseph thrown into prison. Joseph had done the right thing, fleeing from sin, but he ended up as a slave in prison. Where was the Lord in all of this? The following verses tell us that the Lord was with Joseph. Even at his lowest point, the Lord was with Joseph. The Lord showed him kindness and favor. Just as Potiphar had entrusted everything to Joseph, so now did the prison warden. Joseph went from being a favorite son to being a slave, and now a slave in prison. His circumstances did not suggest that the Lord was present, but the Lord was with Joseph. Joseph's dire situation was not evidence of God's absence, it was the Lord's active involvement for his own good purpose. We can trust God's presence in all things. Prayer. Lord, help me to put my trust in you at all times, believing that you are with me. One word. Trust in God's presence.